everyone, my name is Amber. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another movie review. We're going to be reviewing Talk to Me. It's a terror, horror, scary, spooky, paranormal-ish movie. And I liked it. I just feel like there were some things that I feel like this is with every movie nowadays, and especially like horror movies, that things, are left too obscure and need clarification. So this movie, it's about this girl and her best friend, and it starts off with actually like a flashback of a guy who is looking for, I think, his brother, and he is trapped in a room, and so he like gets him out, and then he proceeds to kill his brother, or like stab his brother rather, and then kill himself. And we find out later that he used this like hand. It reminded me a lot of the Mummy's Paw story. So basically this hand but is like the mummified remains of like a fortune teller or a medium, or something along those lines. They couldn't exactly like identify what. They were just like, legend says that it belongs to this. And then this guy gave it to these two kids. And then we flash forward to these two best friends. Well, more sort of, we meet the first one first, who her mom passed away like a year ago. It's the anniversary of when she passed. She kind of has like this estranged relationship with her dad, but she's really close to her best friend's family. And she goes and she picks up her best friend's little brother, who is like at the age, I guess, where he's like trying to figure himself out. He wants to be cool. And he's just kind of quirky and has like that kind of like spunk to him. But he's also, I guess, like the odd one out, doesn't always fit in. And so he really like has bonded with his sister's like best friend, and he trusts her and like looks up to her, and she's part of the family. And so then apparently there's videos circulating about like a group of individuals, these kids, who throw parties with this hand, and then people like say something to it, and then like their eyes turn black, and essentially they are being like possessed by something, and they're like, basically everyone who's around them is seeing like that entity within them like do whatever it does and everything. I don't know exactly where the person's spirit goes, because when this girl, the friend, ends up coming out of it, when she does it, she was like, oh, it was amazing, but it's like, where did you go? They didn't really specify. And then later on, the brother, like the souls like have him, he's like, not able to get out. So do they end up there like briefly or somewhere else before they end up there, or do they have to be there for an extended period of time to have that happen to them? So apparently the soul there's like different souls that like come through, or like sometimes I guess it's one soul, but then sometimes I guess it can be multiple. And I don't know where, like, these souls are, I guess, in limbo or something. They're in pain. They're like that weird in between. But then, like, again, there's like a spirit of a little girl, and it's like, so I don't know exactly where they were going with like the paranormal route and where exactly these spirits are coming from. I feel like with a lot of like spooky movies, that's not really defined. But essentially these ghosts are like in this limbo hell kind of thing, and they're being tortured by so many different things, and one another, and they're in pain. And a lot of them are very like chaotic, a lot of them are very erratic, and so these souls that are being like entering these individuals, like they just like do like crazy stuff and everything, and like they're like laughing, other people are just like finding it funny. And so essentially they're messing with that. And the best friend is like, hey, you think it's real? We should go and everything. This girl has a boyfriend. She's like, can the boyfriend come along? Because she's very obsessed with the boyfriend. And clearly there's like a divide between the friends because of the boyfriend, and like he takes up like most of the best friend's time, and thus she had to like go pick up the brother because boyfriend. And then also, I guess the best friend has feelings for the boyfriend because at one point I guess they were very close, and they're still very close as friends. And they were kind of dating as when they were younger. But like they made it kind of seem like it was like nothing at first. It was just like a little, elementary school crush, you're my girlfriend, boyfriend kind of thing. And then like later on they revealed like that their like initials were etched into like, I guess, her furniture or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, this was more serious than I thought it was. You clearly have feelings for this individual. I kind of wanted to see why that was the case, but they didn't really go into that. So they go to this party. They interact with this hand. The girl, they're supposed to be only under, I think, for 90 seconds, and then they're supposed to like detach. But I guess for whatever reason, these spirits are getting riled up more, and some of them are stronger than others, and they're messing around with stuff that they shouldn't. And she lasts longer than she's supposed to. And that causes her, I guess, in the movie, that makes you see things now. Like, it opens up, like, your vision to the other side a little bit more. So then she starts seeing, supposedly, her mom. But these souls, like, they mess with you, and so she also starts seeing, like, just different things going on. And then she is like back and forth with it. At first she's just kind of like, oh, I get to see my mom, like this is cool, or like I see things, like this is crazy. But that's like more so towards like the end of it, not the end of it, towards as the story goes on, that she kind of sees more and more, and it kind of like starts confusing her and opening her eyes to different things. I'll get into that. But basically, she lasted too long. She sees things now. Things have, I guess, seen the people around her. And the spirits are interested in the little brother for whatever reason. And so then they go and they do another party, and then the boyfriend does it, and he doesn't make a fool of it. The spirit that enters his body makes a fool out of him, and he's like freaked out and everything. Him and the girlfriend end up leaving the room, and the brother's like, can I do it? And then the sister's like, no. They end up fighting, whatever. And then the best friend, like, he's like begging her, he's like, please, I know you would make the best decision for me, like, please understand where I'm coming from, blah blah blah, because apparently it's this like whole like amazing experience, and it's funny and it's cool, and he just wants to be part of it. And so then she says yes, and this very chaotic spirit, first it's like her mom, which I don't think it was her mom, but first this very chaotic spirit, but then this very chaotic spirit enters him, and he begins to smash his head on the table and on multiple surfaces, and they can't get the hand off, and then he ends up in the hospital. And then like everything like is crazy because it's like, oh my goodness, like how did this happen? This never happens, and blah blah this and blah blah that. And the family doesn't want to talk to the girl anymore, and she feels terrible when she's seeing things now. And then she's also seeing that the spirit that was in the brother is still in there, and I don't know if that's like a for real thing that she's actually seeing him, or they're making her see that, because when we get to the end it kind of gets a little confusing. And then like her mom like ends up coming out more, and she's like, she even like uses the hand a few times to like try to talk to her mom, and the mom is like, he's in pain, like you need to end it and blah blah this. There's one point where she tries to go back and save him and realizes like where he's at, and everything, and like that, like I guess prompts her more to be like, he's never gonna get out, like my mom is gonna take care of him, he's gonna be okay. Which, if your mom is in this terrible place and like she's like, oh, I'm gonna take care of him, like, and he's in this terrible place, like, do spirits, like, I don't understand if spirits move on in this world, and why would you want to subject him to that? Like, why wouldn't you try so many, like, why wouldn't you get like in touch with someone and like, you know, try other ways to just kind of like bring him back? I think that would have been an interesting like twist, like you contact like someone who's like well knowledged in these things. They go to like the brother that was stabbed, they're like asking him for help, they can't like find anything, they like they come to the like conclusion that this like hand is like, you know, dangerous. Like, wow, what gave you that impression? It's like, so how are they going to save the brother, and like what are they going to do? And then she's seeing things, and it's like all that. And then she ultimately starts listening to the mom and is like, I'm going to kill this child, and relieve him from the pain. The mother also like tells her that she didn't like commit suicide, that was the dad, that he did something to her, when there's like an actual note that she committed suicide. And the daughter at this point doesn't believe him because she's so sucked into like what this mother figure being is telling her. And there's like one scene where like she's hugging her and she's sleeping. I'm just like, oh my god, like this is like not even like with your dead mother, like no. And there was a lot of like sucking feet scenes, and I'm just like, what kind of weird fetish thing is going on here? Anyway, but yeah, these entities were just very gross and like all over the place and like creepy and disgusting. So then she calls the friend, and at this point the friend like trusts her again to I guess an extent, because she knows she's trying to save her brother and like everything. But then she doesn't know how far like down the rabbit hole like she has gone now that she's seen so much stuff and everything, and what she's believing now. And then she calls her friend, tells her to meet her here. She ends up at the hospital, tries to kill the brother. She can't do it. And there's a scene earlier where I think it was a kangaroo. I don't know where they were at. If they were like in Australia. But there was a kangaroo on the side of the road that was like crying and like in pain, like it had been like hurt. And she was going to run it over to like take away its pain. And I'm just like, this is brutal. And essentially she wants to do the same thing to the brother and just take him down and throw him in front of a car to take away the pain. And so then she's taking him down, which it's not him, it's this entity thing, or maybe, I don't know. She takes him down, and then I don't know what happens. I don't know if the friend pushes her, or she gets pushed, or she falls, or she somehow, I don't know, somehow she gets run over, and she passes. And then she, like, sees, like, I guess, flashes of, like, what's going on in the real world. I guess someone, like, of the afterlife. She sees, like, because she killed her dad, because she thought he was attacking her before she, like, called her friend. And so then that's when the friend is like, oh, no, she's crazy. And then she's going and racing against time to, like, save her brother, which is not her brother anymore. And she knows that. So I'm just like, I don't even know what's going through her head. Like, who wouldn't want your brother's body to, like, die and then he has nothing to come back to? But she's seeing, like images, and then it's, like, the brother, and he's well, and he's happy and healthy again. And I'm like, so this thing wasn't in him, or it is, and now it's, like, taken over? Like, I don't know. And it was never, like, answered what happened. She sees, like, her dad walking around. I assume he's, like, in the afterlife, too, or he, like, moved on, because he was, like, going towards the elevator. I don't know. There's no bright light to signify anything. And then, so she's, like, just walking around, I guess, she sees some of these like people, like these deceased, and like she sees them like healthy and good again. And I don't know if that meant like they were finally free. Like she sees like the guy that was in the brother, so I don't know if like somehow she freed him from him and now he's at peace, or what happened. Like if that was their plan all along, but then it was like another entity that was telling her to kill him, not like him, but they're all like connected. So maybe like the entity was doing it for this guy. I don't know. And so yeah, and then she ends up seeing a light, and we're just like, because this game involves them like turning on a candle and then blowing it out when the time is done, and they don't know if they ever like turned off the candle for the brother, so that's why they assume the entity was in there. Maybe not. I don't know if he was. And they try to fix it. You know, they try to do the thing again with the hand, and so there was multiple attempts to bring the brother back. And so yeah, I don't know if it's the brother or not. I really, really don't. I really don't know what that scene really meant, but she was seeing something. Maybe it was something that she was hoping for. And then she sees a light, and we all know that she's being summoned because she's dead, and someone out there is playing this game, and she's the next spirit that's like gonna play the game. But they like got rid of the hand, so I don't know who or how they got the hand, or if there was another one. I don't know. But that's how the movie ends. And those are my thoughts on it. I liked it, you know, better than I think most horror movies nowadays. But I just feel like there was just a lot of things that were so wishy-washy and I didn't really understand. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see y'all real soon. Bye!